Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. What we learned from the Spurs' loss to the Heat. I think this qualifies as a slump. I'm not sure what the actual statistical measures are, but as far as I'm concerned, the Spurs are slumping. That's something you probably have to expect with a team like this, little slumps here and there, stretches where things just aren't clicking and nothing's really coming together. We've all been there, right? I haven't noticed anything in these games that makes me worry about the future or feel like we need to smash the panic button. It's a slump. It happens. What's contributing to it though? Are they tired? Overextended? Do they just not have enough talent? Probably yes to all of the above. There's likely a handful of other issues mixed into this unfortunate stew that we can't possibly see from our front row seats on the couch. They lost their head coach right as the season was starting, maybe that's finally catching up to them. Maybe a first-year head coach doing an admirable job is still having a tough time filling the gaps left by a Hall of Famer. Maybe the whirlwind of attention that comes from having one of the most famous athletes on the planet is more taxing than we realize. I can tell you for sure they didn't play very well in Miami yesterday, but I doubt anyone can truly pinpoint the deeper reasons why. What's relevant to us is that it's happening. The slump is happening, and we're here, acknowledging that fact. How and when they pull out of it is beyond our control, so all we can do as fans is recognize it and not completely lose our cool. Right? We're not going to freak out, right? Because it'd be easy to. I know it would. I've sat through these collapses and felt the anger rising in my chest. They're better than this. I know they are. I've seen it. Why aren't they just doing it better? It's beyond frustrating, and no amount of deep breathing makes it any more fun to watch our guys repeatedly blow their defensive assignments deep in the shot clock or force shots on offense that have no business being forced. This is our reality right now, and right now, our reality bites. Maybe a quick trip across the pond will be a nice reset for everyone. A chance to see things from a different perspective and get out of the oppressive grind that is the NBA schedule. This isn't exactly the strong form anyone was hoping they'd carry onto the global stage in Paris, but hey, it's not the end of the world. Frankly, none of this is. The Spurs are a young team playing at the low end of their considerable capabilities at the moment. They can't seem to figure it out, but that doesn't mean they never will. Takeaways: I think we can all agree the debate about whether the Spurs need Jeremy Sochan in the lineup can be put to rest. I'm sure we can all be reasonable and agree that, of course Jeremy makes us better. Anyone who was on the fence about it before his extended absence can accept defeat gracefully and bow out of the race. The team misses his physicality, his ability to slot in anywhere in the lineup, his energy, the whole Jeremy Sochan experience. It's not easy to define why he's so important, which is why this debate was a thing in the first place, but the Sochan-shaped hole in the Spurs' ability to be a wrecking ball on the court is glaring. This team can't seem to get transition anything right, which is confounding because it feels like it should be a strength. We're so long and athletic and fast that you'd think transition defense would flow naturally. At the drop of a hat, they need to be sprinting, finding their spots, and putting out fires. No one is running complicated schemes in transition, so our defense shouldn't be complicated in return. Everyone just needs to react faster. Maybe that's easier said than done, what do I know? Miami Heat star praises Spurs Stephon Castle for high-level defense. Stephon Castle has enjoyed a solid rookie campaign in the 2024-25 NBA season. From a team standpoint, the Spurs rookie probably did not enjoy getting comfortably beaten 128-107 by the Miami Heat on Sunday. After a strong start from San Antonio, Miami took it to them in the second and third quarters. The loss dropped the Spurs to a record of 19-22 on the season. One notable silver lining from this otherwise disappointing performance for the Spurs was that Tyler Herro was held below his typical scoring output. The Heat star totaled 18 points, considerably short of his season average, 24.0. A lot of the praise from that situation can fall onto the shoulders of Castle's defensive performance. The Spurs rookie still has plenty to clean up offensively, but he is as sound as any one of his first-year peers in that category. Quite frankly, his defensive abilities can be described as well beyond his years. Herro reassured this notion after the game. The Heat's leading scorer during the 2024-25 campaign had plenty of praise for the young guard. He was picking me up on the driveway. When I got out of my car, he was waiting on me. Tyler Herro had a good laugh about Castle's aggressive defense. However, it was abundantly clear that there was plenty of respect for Castle in what Miami's star was saying. The Spurs and Heat will not have to wait too long before matching up once more. The two teams are slated to face off against each other again on February 1st. One would imagine that Herro will not be looking forward to the date. Suns named best landing spot for Jimmy Butler. As the NBA's February 6th trade deadline approaches, the Phoenix Suns are still heavy in their pursuit of Miami Heat forward Jimmy Butler. There's several factors that play into the All-Star eventually landing in the desert, though as of now, Phoenix is still the top destination for Butler according to Bleacher Report. Basketball-wise, Butler won't find a better fit than the Suns. They could use his toughness, versatility, and complementary scoring and playmaking, and he would thrive amid the space created by hooping alongside elite shotmakers like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Butler also sounds more than convinced Phoenix is the right fit for him, wrote Zach Buckley. Now, getting him to Phoenix is a different, incredibly difficult challenge. The Suns are strapped for assets, and the Heat aren't interested in Bradley Beal, who would have to be involved for this big money deal to work. Having said that, the Suns do have a potentially juicy 2031 first-rounder to trade, and they have discussed using it to help acquire Butler, per ESPN's Brian Windhorst, so maybe the situation isn't entirely hopeless. Finding a deal that works for Butler, Beal, who has a no-trade clause, the Suns and the Heat is the Mount Everest of tall tasks. Identifying Phoenix as Butler's best landing spot, though, isn't all that difficult. This has to be one of the more intriguing situations to monitor in the NBA over the next few weeks, as there's clear interest in Butler and the Suns on making a match, though several other dominoes must fall in order to make it happen. We'll see if Miami ultimately deals Butler, though the Suns are still considered to be the top option. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.